everybody, and welcome to day 2 of the Flosstyle Easy Wrap Wallet Sew Along. I hope you're enjoying the sew along so far, and if you missed yesterday's video I will put a link in the description down below so you can follow that. Today we are going to be folding and sewing our card slots. So let's get started. Alright, so before I show you how to fold the card slots, I thought I'd show you what they look like when they are completely folded. So I've got my pattern piece folded up in the middle here. I've got my card slot A on this side with the pointed edge up the top there, and it's a larger piece, and then I've got my card slot B over here. Alright, so how do we get from this to this? Now, in the last video I told you that you should have taken your pattern piece and laid it out flat, had your fabric wrong side up, and you needed to line it up with these lines that are marked on the pattern piece and draw them onto the interfacing. That's just so that you know where to fold. So the next thing that I want you to do is then take your paper pattern piece and fold it up like I have. So the first line is up the top here of the pattern piece, and it says here, first fold line, fold up. And what that means is that you're going to take the bottom, so this is what I'm referring to as the bottom, and you're going to fold up. So you can see that's what I've got. So the next line says second line, fold down. So you're going to have your pattern piece like this, you're going to fold down. And you're just going to continue, so third fold line, fold up. So folding all the way up, and then fourth fold line, fold down. So you're going to keep doing that until you have something that looks like this. So you can see this grey shaded area here is the visible section of the card slots, and if you look underneath you've got the white. So that's showing you that the top of the previous line should line up with the bottom of the grey section of the card slot above it. So once you've done that, you've got something to compare your fabric piece to. But you want to go and then do exactly the same thing with your piece of fabric. So the first line here, we want to fold the whole pattern piece up on the line. So you can see my line maybe is marked there. And then we have the next line here, so we want to fold down. Now obviously I've already ironed mine to make it a little bit easier to show you. So as you fold it over, you just want to finger press just either end and then just iron down the crease to make the crease. So what you will have, if you look at the end, this is the bottom of your fabric piece and this is the top up here. So it will go up and down like a hill. And then as I showed you earlier, we've got our folded paper piece, and we can see that that matches our folded fabric piece. So these are our 1, 2, 3, 4 card slots at the back of the wallet, and we're going to sew straight down the middle there. And then this is our larger, deeper pocket at the end. So once we've got those pressed, we want to do the same thing for card slot B. So card slot B starts at this red line here, but it still has the same fold line. So the first fold line we fold up, second we fold down until we get to the end. So I will unfold this for you. Now this is the bottom, this small piece, all the way up here to this is the top. So if I unfold this one here, you'll see that they match. So the bottom all the way up to the top, this one's a little bit more tightly folded, but there we go, they match. And then you can see that the only difference here is this extra, because this is card slot A, so this is where your ID pocket's going to do. So once we have these all nicely ironed and folded and then matching up with our pattern piece, you can see that this one matches up also, we're going to top stitch across the top of each pocket. So by pocket I mean here, this is a pocket, this is where your cards are going to go, so going to top stitch across the top of each one of these. Alright, so to top stitch each of these pockets, we're going to just fold the flap out of the way of the other pockets and just place it under the machine like that. So then top stitch that one, and then just do the same for the next one. Exactly the same, fold it and top stitch. Alright, so now we've top stitched the top of each of the card slots on card slot piece A and card slot piece B. what we want to do is we want to sew them together. So we want to do that by placing them right sides together. So we want to make sure we've got them the right way up. So we want to just match them together. We want the largest piece of A and the largest piece of B at the back there. We're just going to flip this, so just straight flip onto A and line those two pieces up just there, and just sewing straight down there. Then we're going to press the seam open, and then we'll move on with the next step. Alright, so my center seam is now sewn and card slot A is joined to card slot B. I've pressed the seam so that it's open at the back here. Now the next step is that we're going to sew the dividing line down the center of our card slots. So I have measured the center and marked it with my chalk marker, and I've only marked it to here. Thing before we sew down the center, we're just going to take the pointy end of card slot A and we're going to pull that pocket out of the way. So the reason we're doing that is that this is going to become our large pocket at the back of the wallet, and we don't want to divide that one. So then we're just going to sew from this point here all the way to this point here, making sure that those card slots don't move. So you're just going to clip them in place to keep them exactly where they need to be, and then sew from there to just this point here. Okay, so you can see that I have sewn down the middle now, and those are separated except for this back one here, which is going to be our large pocket as we mentioned earlier. So what we want to do now is flip this over. We want to take our heavyweight interfacing that we cut earlier, and we want to iron that in place on the back of the card slots in exactly the same position as the heavyweight interfacing, on the back of your outer. So it's not going to have the space on the sides here because the card slots are a little bit narrower, but it will have the same spacing across the top and across the bottom as your outer does. And then once you've done that, you're going to want to flip your card slots over, and you're going to sew 7 mils above and below the center seam between card slot A and card slot B. Okay, so we have sewn down the center seam that we sewed before, and we have ironed our interfacing on the back. So that is our card slots complete. And tomorrow night we are going to sew our wrap, our ID pocket that's going to go at the top here, and our zip pocket for the middle.